Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to the Charlotte Motor Speedway as we are getting ready for the 2016 Sprint Showdown to see which two lucky drivers and teams will move on to the $1 million race, the 2016 Sprint All-Star Race. I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth, here to give you full coverage of today's race. Let's take you down trackside so we can get the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
We have 24 drivers lined up on pit road getting ready to compete in this 25-lap event, the Sprint Showdown. The top two finishers in today's race will move on into the $1 million race, the Sprint All-Star Race. And then at the conclusion of the video, we will announce the Sprint Fan Vote winner that the viewers voted for. And let's get you down to the track so we can see the starting grid. We got the 77 of Clint Bowyer and Regan Smith make up your front row. Clint Bowyer's won this race the last 2 years, but he was driving for NWR. Kyle Larson, 42, Ryan Blaney, 12. Greg Biffle in the 16, Brian Vickers in the 15. You have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and teammate Trevor Bain, and then David Reagan and Ricky Chase Elliott, your top 10. Brian Scott and Eric Almirola. Paul Menard and Casey Mears. Row 8, we have AJ Allmendinger and Elliott Sadler. Row 9, Michael McDowell and Landy Castle. Row 10, Mike Lynette and Justin Allgaier. Row 11, Matt DiBenedetto and Brett Moffitt. And running out the field in row number 12, we have Alex Bowman and rookie Dakota Armstrong. These are the drivers who have not won the last 2 years, this year or last year, and the drivers who have never won the Sprint All-Star Race. As they make their way out of turn number 4, Clint Bowyer and Regan Smith, your front row, coming down to the green flag. The 25-lap event here, the Sprint Showdown, is underway. We're racing here at Charlotte. And it is a pretty even start at the front of the field. Regan Smith on the outside lane, Clint Bowyer on the bottom, racing out into turn number 1. And they have the 42 of Kyle Larson and the 16 of Greg Biffle on the inside. Larson trying to get up into second place in that 42 car. But not so fast. Here comes the 16 of Greg Biffle with that 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 3 wide for second place on track. Here comes the 16 of Greg Biffle. And out of turn number 4, and Smith is in the wall. Regan Smith in the wall. Nearly comes down and takes out the 55 of David Reagan, but we have a wreck in the back. Remember, no yellows. No yellows are in this race. And we have the 34 of Brett Moffitt, 26 Dakota Armstrong, Justin Allgaier, and Matt DiBenedetto wrecking in the back. But remember, no yellows. We have David Reagan driving in the inside of Kyle Larson. That is a battle for 4th place on track. And Smith, who got in the wall of turn 4 in lap number 1, falling back on the outside lane. Now in the clutches of the 24 of Ricky Chase Elliott. Moving on the inside, bringing that number 12, another Rookie of the Year contender, Ryan Blaney. Right now, your top 2, Clint Bowyer and Greg Biffle. But now, here comes that 55 of David Reagan, trying to get 3rd spot away from that 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Elliott now on the inside of the 42 of Kyle Larson. Down to the line, Reagan has the 17 at the line. And now Reagan not done. He's looking to the inside of his former teammate of Greg Biffle. Biffle gets a nice run off turn 2. We have cars in the wall back here. Stenhouse, Larson, and Smith again into the wall as we have Chase Elliott now up into 4th. Bringing Ryan Blaney now inside the top 5. Brian Vickers, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Larson. All 24 cars are still on track, but now battle for 2nd place. Here comes that 55, David Reagan on the inside. He got a little bit loose. Here comes the run on the outside for the 16 of Greg Biffle. Biffle in the wall, though. Biffle looks like he may have went a little bit too hard down here in turn 3. And now the 24, Chase Elliott down to the inside of the 55 of David Reagan. Elliott on the inside, Reagan on the outside. Biffle and Vickers, 4th and 5th. Blaney, Stenhouse, Brian Scott, Paul Menard, and Eric Almirola, your top 10, all going on behind the 77 of Clint Bowyer, driving away in that 5-hour Toyota out of Furniture Row Racing. Now Reagan in the wall, Biffle in the wall, and we have 3 cars together back here, and there goes to 42 around Kyle Larson, getting hit from everywhere back here in the pack, and Larson a lot of damage in that 42 Eno Chevrolet, and it appears Larson will have to rely on the Sprint fan vote. And we have another corner wall. Greg Biffle in the wall back here off turn 2. It is so tricky to get off these corners at Charlotte, and you see these cars driving a little bit too hard into the corner to make up speed, to make up time, while they're paying the price off the corners. You saw Regan Smith, who slapped the wall off turn 4, lap number 1, nearly wrecked and took out half the field. That's how hard these guys are racing. Right now they're catching the 34 Moffitt and the 26 of Armstrong. Moffitt, a Rookie of the Year last year. Armstrong, Rookie of the Year contender this year. And now Boyer drives to the inside. He'll get by the 34. And now here comes the run by the 24 of Elliott. And Boyer hung in behind the 26, but he makes it to the inside. And Reagan will use that 26 as a pick to get by the 24 for second place. Now moving to the inside. Look at Ricky Stenhouse Jr. nearly on the apron in that 17 car. To the inside of the 24, Chase Elliott. Now you have that 29 of Brian Scott. Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, 3 wide again, Vickers up top in that 15. 3 wide again, Vickers up top. He's going to get in the wall, comes down into Blaney, and the 15 will go around. Brian Vickers spinning in the back. And somehow nobody runs into the 15 of Brian Vickers, who spins out off turn number 4. He gets it back going. Now Greg Biffle, AJ Allmendinger, these guys are now having to deal with the slower Brett Moffitt, slower Dakota Armstrong. These guys wrecked early in the race. You have Landon Castle in the 38, Michael McDowell, Casey Mears, and Moffitt in the wall again, and Biffle getting held up behind that 26 of Armstrong. And the longer you get held up by a slower car like that 26, the more angry you'll get, and the more higher possibility of a wreck occurring. As we have a battle for second place, mainly for the lead. Clint Boyer drove away, but once they caught lap traffic, David Reagan and Chase Elliott caught up, and now they are second and third behind the 77 of Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer, David Reagan, drivers who were once teammates last year at NWR. Now they're catching up on Matt DiBenedetto and Justin Allgaier, two of the drivers who were in that little early wreck with Armstrong and Moffitt. Now here comes David Reagan for the lead on the 77 of Clint Boyer. Now can they get by the slower DiBenedetto and Allgaier? Boyer moves to the inside, but this time Elliott will use that 83 and the 51 as a big Reagan in the middle. Watch out! Look at that 17 of Stenhouse coming on the inside. He'll get around both of them most likely. Stenhouse right behind that 24 of Ricky Chase Elliott. He'll make it 3 wide. He says, screw both of y'all. He'll take second spot away and try to make a move on that 77 of Clint Boyer. By a nice run off the corner by the 24 of Elliott. Reagan falls back to 4th. Now being passed by the 43 of Eric Almirola. So now it's Clint Boyer, Chase Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Almirola, and David Reagan, your top 5. Now Reagan trying to get 4th back away from that 43 of Almirola. The top 2 advance in this race. They will move on into the 2016 All-Star race. Clint Boyer has won this race the past 2 years, driving that 15 for NWR. The 42, Kyle Larson, not far from going a lap down. Then he had that number 7 of Alex Bowman, 15 of Brian Vickers. Casey Mears right now running 16th. He's been in the wall. Greg Biffle all the way back here in 15th. Trevor Bain, AJ Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, Landon Castle, even though he's not really moving, doesn't appear he'll be racing in the All-Star race unless he has a fan vote, almost inside the top 10. You have Elliott Sadler, Paul Menard, Ryan Blaney, Regan Smith, and Brian Scott. And we have now caught the 42, and that's allowed the 55 and the 43 to kind of catch up to the top 3. Reagan moves by Almirola for 4th place. It is Clint Boyer, Chase Elliott, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., your top 3, coming down to the line. 9 to go for Clint Boyer. Now he moves to the inside of the 7 of Alex Bowman. We did not see any lap traffic in the first 2 Showdown races with the Xfinity and the Truck Series. But this time is different. We have cars getting in the wall. They know that $1 million are on the line for themselves and for them race teams. And Reagan and Almirola continuing to run for that 4th spot. Nice run off the corner by David Reagan. Moves to the inside from high to low down the front straightaway for David Reagan. He'll move by the 7 of Bowman. Trying to chase down the 17 of Stenhouse Jr., the 24 Elliott. Next up is the 15 of Brian Vickers. Vickers was running up here inside the top 5 and top 10 at one point in this race, but got hit the wall off turn 4, bounced off another car, went back up to check in the outside wall, and that pretty much ended his day. Elliott's trying to race his way in via the top 2. As now Boyer drives through the back bumper of his former teammate Brian Vickers. Here comes that 24 of rookie Chase Elliott to the back bumper, that number 77 of Boyer. Reagan's driven away from 5th place Almirola, and now here we go. Battle for the lead. Elliott looking to the inside on Boyer. Out of turn number 4, Stenhouse and Reagan, 3rd and 4th. Can they catch up to the top 2? 6 remaining at Charlotte. A 5-car breakaway trying to race their way into the 2016 All-Star race. Battle for 3rd place, David Reagan on the inside of Stenhouse, and then you have Elliott on the back bumper of Brett Moffitt. Now Boyer and Elliott moves by the 34 of Moffitt, and Stenhouse is gonna get stuck in behind the 34, and that will allow Reagan and Almirola to move by the 17 with 5 to go. Boyer now has a pretty good lead on the 24 of Elliott. Now Reagan trying to close in and get around that 24, 3rd place. Next guy, looks like the last guy who will be a factor to our leaders is the 26. That is Dakota Armstrong. Making the way to turn number 4. 4 to go for Boyer and Elliott. But can Reagan and Almirola chase them down? Back here we have Regan Smith, your outside pole center. Ryan Blaney, Ryan Scott, Paul Menard, Elliott Sadler, your top 10. Now we have Biffle trying to get back inside the top 10 in that 16. Trevor Bain, Landon Castle. We have McDowell. And it appears right now Reagan not really closing in that much on the 24. Down to the line. 3 laps remaining at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been a long time, really long time since we had an all-star race without the number 24. They're now in this race because Elliott has no wins in his Cup career. Trying to hang on by David Reagan, not far behind that 55. They're also catching the 26 of Dakota Armstrong. Will they get him in time? Coming out, turn number 4, 2 laps remaining. Reagan closing in on the 24 Elliott. Reagan's going to have to drive very hard if he's going to get inside the top 2. Does Armstrong come into play? Down the back straightaway they go. Catching Armstrong right in the entrance of turn 3. That's going to hurt that 77. Elliott goes high. Where does Reagan go? Oh man, Reagan's right on the back bumper of that 24 now. Coming down, the white flag is out. 1 lap around. Charlotte remaining for Clint Boyer. And Reagan right there on the back bumper of that 24 of Elliott. Drives right down to the white line. Almirola in 4th. A 4-car breakaway. Gives Elliott hang on for one more final corner. Almirola looking to the inside of David Reagan down in the turn 3. Reagan can't get to Elliott. He has to hold off the 43. Here comes Reagan. One more shot off turn number 4. Clint Boyer will hang on and win the 2016 Sprint Showdown for the 3rd year in a row. And rookie Chase Elliott races his way into the 2016 Sprint All-Star race in that number 24. David Reagan comes out 1 spot short in 3rd. Eric Almirola and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. your top 5. What a finish, and what a heart-pumping finish that was. 5 guys, or 4, well, it was 5 guys, but now it really ended up with 4 guys in the battle to race their way in. And Boyer and Elliott will move on. On your screen, your results from today's showdown will appear on your screen to see where your drivers finished. And now it is time to announce the 2016 Sprint Fan Vote winner. The winner of the 2016 Fan Vote will be on your screen in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 Sprint Fan Vote winner. And congratulations to all 3 of the drivers who have raced their way into the 2016 Sprint All-Star race. Coming up next will be the 2016 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series All-Star race, the first ever race with that series. That'll be the next race on, or actually, I'm sorry, I'm lying. The next activity on this channel will be the Truck Series qualifying for the All-Star race. The top 12 who And the top 12 in the Truck Series who were eligible for the All-Star race, they will qualify to see where they will start on Friday night's race. So that is all here, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Congrats to Clint Boyer and Chase Elliott and your Sprint Fan Vote winner, as they will advance into the All-Star race. Goodbye, everyone.